Well, hello, everyone. It's Tuesday morning here, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to the Gut Solution. I hope that you guys are all getting a ton of value out of these live streams and the content that I'm posting here, as well as what everyone else in our community is posting, so that we can all be more educated and therefore more empowered to make better choices so that you can truly overcome your chronic digestive condition. Because I know you can. I've seen it happen. I've helped others do it, and I've seen others do it as well. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I am Mara Salerno. I am a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and the founder of the Gut Solution program and of ReclaimOptimalHealth.com. And I help people overcome their chronic digestive conditions so they can live freely without pain or dread of the toilet. And today's live stream is all about why gut issues cause poor sleep and or low energy or fatigue. So we're going to jump into that today in just a moment. Again, always check out at the top of our page. There are some icons there. One of them is called guides. I always organize all of the videos in this group really nicely there. It's a really easy place to get all the resources and kind of maybe do a binge watch of these videos and learn a whole lot and hopefully help yourself. Yeah, that's what this is all about. So without further ado, any of you watching live or on the replay, please comment, let me know. Do you have sleep issues? And did your sleep issues start before you felt your chronic digestive issues or after? So I would love to know that and see what's going on for those of you that are in the group. Okay, so let's start out with what sleeping well or not well actually means. So when you sleep, are you able to fall asleep easily, and do you stay asleep all night long? So waking up to go pee, that's a problem. That's a sign that there is a disruption in your sleep pattern. And it's not just because you're drinking a ton. So if we were to alter how much you drink within, even a half an hour of sleeping, if that was the issue, that should get resolved very easily. But if that doesn't change, well, then there's a bigger issue at hand. So again, sleeping well is falling asleep easily. It's staying asleep all night. And then it's also when you wake up feeling rested and having energy throughout the day. So these are all components of sleeping well. And ideally, you want to be getting anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep, depending on the person, on a regular basis. Yeah. And getting to bed around by 10 o'clock, and then waking up, hopefully, at a reasonable hour for yourself where you feel rested. So that's what sleeping well actually means. And I think for many of you and for many people, they think they do sleep well because they feel pretty good when they wake up in the morning, but they are waking up throughout the day. So, they're waking up throughout the night, and that's problematic. And there's a lot of reasons for that. So I'm going to cover 5 really of the top reasons that I see that gut issues are causing an issue with sleep and energy. So the first one is pathogens. Pathogens are anything that are like parasites, worms, bad bacteria, viruses, even molds, funguses, and the like. And all of these are problematic. And the reason is they disturb sleep because pathogens are most active at night. When your immune system and your body is sleeping, everything starts to calm down. And you guys hear me talk a lot about the immune system because it is what would fight an invader like a pathogen in the body. And that typically takes place because of damage to the gut lining and the body not being able to protect itself. So at night, when the immune system has calmed down and is asleep and is really kind of like offline, then pathogens know that. And that is when they become most active. It's also kind of the werewolf mode. We also know that pathogens get really active around the moon cycles, the full moon particularly. And so this is one of the reasons why some people will wake up in the middle of the night between the hours, especially of 1 and 3, but anytime throughout the night with pathogens, because they're waking you up. They get really active, and then suddenly the immune system figures out like something's going on here and I need to wake up, and you wake up. And that's because the immune system activates your stress response in your body, which is the cortisol hormone, and it wakes you up. So especially if you're waking up really alert and it's really difficult for you to fall back asleep, not that falling asleep right away doesn't mean you don't have pathogens, but that's a really good signal that something is up. And also waking up like every night, all the time, it's not a good thing. So definitely checking out pathogens is important. And I always say to you guys that 99.99% of my clients that I work with have pathogens. In fact, many of you that I talk with on Messenger here in Facebook, when we're chatting, and then I, maybe just touch base with you weeks later, you'll tell me, I just talked with one gentleman yesterday that's here inside of our group, and he was like, oh yeah, I went and saw my doc. He found 3 parasites. And I said, oh yeah, I could have told you that, So it's definitely a big part of the puzzle. And either you're not running the right tests to get you the best results and the most insight, or it's just not showing up on the test and still needs to be dealt with and mopped up. So there's pathogens that will disturb sleep. And also wreck you of energy, because oftentimes pathogens will rob you of your nutrients, of your food. Like they'll literally eat it instead of you being able to digest it. And that's really problematic. Now, the second one is blood sugar imbalance. So when you have a chronic stress response in the body, remember, it is initiated by the brain. When we were created, right, we were created with this set of survival mechanisms, and it was to run away from the tiger. And so when we would see the tiger, we would run. And in order for that to get initiated, the brain had to realize this is a danger and I'm about to die. And when that happens, it would throw off some adrenaline into the body for a few moments. So it gives the brain time to signal the adrenal glands to release your stress hormone, cortisol. And then as soon as that starts releasing through your body, your eyes are dilating, right, with adrenaline and cortisol, your blood sugar levels rise because you need that sugar to be able to run, to get energy to run from the tiger. And your digestion shuts off, your uterus and your testes shut off, because everything needs to go towards survival. Now, the reason that I bring that up is because when you've been in a chronic stress response for a long time, whether that's because you've been sick or lifestyle factors like, working crazy hours on the go, or eating toxic foods, or anything that would stress out your body. I mean, it could be anything. It's a multiple factors that typically will create this puzzle piece. You get in a chronic stress state. So in a healthy stress state, you would run from the tiger, you would get in a safe spot, and then your brain would know it's time to tell the adrenals to shut off the cortisol streaming through my body. And then once that happens, you go back into homeostasis or balance, and that's it, right? Well, now what happens is, because we have stress in so many different forms, the body stays in a chronic stress response. Now, remember, when I told you, when you have a stress response in the body, your body is naturally going to rise blood sugar levels. So for those of you who have blood sugar imbalances, it's very, very important to look at your cortisol levels, because oftentimes they will be imbalanced, whether that's that they've been high for a long time, or they're high, and or they've been high for so long, your body's been working so hard that now they're so low and you're still streaming with this blood sugar imbalance. Diet does play a huge role in this. The reason I bring this up is because at night when you are sleeping, I'm back to sleep. But when you are sleeping, what will happen is that your blood sugar levels will vacillate. And that's because you're sleeping, your body's not getting the nutritional balance it needs, so it doesn't know how to stay stabilized. It spikes, and when it spikes, you wake, or when it drops, you wake. So this can be another reason why your gut issues are contributing to this, because, for example, your pancreas plays a huge role in your insulin and your blood sugar levels. Being able to digest your foods properly is really a huge factor, and having the right kind of diet is so important in order to balance those blood sugar levels so you don't wake up at night. Real quick, I just want to pop back to pathogens and make sure that I was really clear on this. So with the reason that pathogens, obviously impact the gut is because, right, they're going to break down the gut lining. They have endotoxins. They have all kinds of things that hurt your gut. And so obviously then when you're waking up in the middle of the night, this is problematic. Okay, number 3 is liver congestion. So I talk a lot about liver congestion because it's the next major organ that takes on the brunt of the job if the gut isn't able to do its job properly. And the liver isn't supposed to digest food, right? It's the master detoxifier of the body. So if it's getting overburdened with foods that are not digested properly, things are coming through, toxins, excess toxins are coming through, excess toxic hormones are coming through. All of these things are going to overburden the liver. And the liver is most active between 1 and 3 in the morning. So if you are typically waking up between 1 and 3 in the morning, it's definitely your liver talking to you. And so you really want to make sure that you are supporting your liver and that your liver is not overburdened. And part of that is getting your gut in order and taking care of your chronic digestive condition. Let's see. The 4th one is hormone imbalance. So what people don't realize is that without really solid gut health, it's hard to ever have solid hormonal health. So remember, the gut is connected to all the major systems in the body, including the hormone or the endocrine system. And so the reason for that is because the gut also digests excess hormones. So if you've got all kinds of excess hormones coming in, not only because your own body is not able to digest them properly, like in the case of those of you who are constipated, but if your body isn't able even to produce enough of them, the gut is the place where all of that happens. So your diet has to help you produce the right kinds of hormones. So that takes a role as well. So hormone imbalance, and it's not just estrogen or just progesterone that will play a role in your sleep issues, but it can even be things like DHEA and cortisol levels. So hormone imbalance plays a huge role with how, first of all, how the gut functions, how hormones are produced, or how excess hormones are being moved through the gut, and then how that plays a role in your sleep patterns and maybe how you're waking up and why you're waking up at night, and also your energy throughout the day. Okay, the last one is obviously inflammation and cell damage. So when you've got a lot of inflammation going on, your cells are usually typically damaged. I think I talked about this either last week or the week before, where I talked about the cell danger response. So if you haven't watched that video, I highly encourage you to do that. But cells and inflammation in the body cause a huge disaster of possibilities in regards to symptoms. So some people have inflammation and they don't have sleep issues. But if this is you that I'm talking to and you have got sleep issues, in your case, your cells are likely damaged in a way that is causing this. And so looking at that too is a major factor when it comes to your gut health and your sleep health and your energy health. So any comments? Is any of this new for you? Any of those points new for you? If so, please comment. Type in the comments what your experience is, what's new for you that I've shared, whether you're live or on the replay. I'd love to hear and learn about each of you a little bit more so that I can help all of you better. Now, last week I announced here in the group that I am offering a one-off test. I've never done that before, and it is called the GI Map test. It is a stool test that you do at home, and it has DNA detection of pathogens. It also looks at the overall health of your gut. And I did a whole video in a live stream on that actually last week. So you're welcome to go and check it out. It's right here towards the top of the group. It's also in that guide section. And I'm offering with that test just a results and analysis. So basically I take a look at the test, I analyze it for you, correlate it with what you have going on, and share those results with you and explain that to you in a live Zoom session. So if that sounds like a great place for you to get started, you want to do that, the cost is $589, and you are welcome to message here, get started, or DM me or comment in the group otherwise, and I will contact you and we'll get it started so that you can really get started on overcoming your chronic digestive condition. Because without really good testing, without actually starting the puzzle piece, most of you are stuck in the trial of cycle and error. You're stuck in the conventional medical model that for many of you is not getting results, and you're literally sick and tired. And it's time to take your health back into your own hands. You can overcome it. You guys can see many of my client testimonials. There's of course always going to be more coming through the group to show you guys the proof is in the pudding. I am a real person. I'm not some weird psychotic person on the internet. And it's important to always know that and actually see real people on here. So I hope this was helpful for you all. I'm looking forward to being with you again next week on our Tuesday live stream at 11 a.m. If you have any questions, you're welcome to post them here in the comments or in the group, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. I hope this was helpful for you all, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.